I'm having a good time.
Good God, man. Good God.
How are you? How are you?
What's going on, everybody?
Got a special guest tonight. One of the guys from my private men's community. Want to introduce yourself?
Hey, yeah, my name is David. I'm from Dallas, Texas. Visiting here. I'm a divorced man, play in the field. Been out there for a little while. Looking for
all the best divorced men come from Dallas. You know that, right? Because the Cowboys are there. We have 5 rings as a team. Like, I'm with you. I'm with kindred spirit tonight. I can feel that. Not this Philadelphia Eagle fan that's over here.
Dude, come on.
I don't know
how many rings. How many rings you guys got, Philly?
I think 1.
I think none.
Yeah, it's a little bit different here, but hey, we have a good time, and yeah, whatever. But yeah, no, this is fantastic. Yeah, I'm doing like a retreat with the guys. We're going out to Atlantic City, and we're gonna have a grand old time. Got some other guys coming in, some other guys meeting us there. So I figured, hey, if David's in town and he's here, why not add somebody else to talk about this topic?
Yeah,
which is this book, Marry Him. I know that at least the initial prologue for it has been brought up before in this space, but I really wanted to dive in here on more than just that and what this book is about. And
yeah,
if you saw as we titled it, The Rational Female,
it really is like the closest thing from a female version of the rational male, right? But I mean, I have my problems with it. It's a good book. Don't get me wrong. It's a really good book for women. I have a problem with the language, but we'll get into that later. But let's get into the prelude or the prelude of the book, because this book, essentially, it's about this woman's looking back on life, basically, and realizing where she went wrong, the lies that feminism has told her, and how she's paying the consequences for it now. But before we get into that, let's get into the prelude of The Husband Store.
Oh, yeah. So, The Husband Store. I can go ahead and read this here. So, I think some people have heard it before, but I'm gonna read it again. A new store has opened. A husband store. There's a sign at the entrance. You may visit the husband store only once. There are 6 floors, and the value of the products increase on each successive floor. The shopper can go choose any item from a particular floor or go up to shop on the next floor, but she cannot go back down except to exit the building. So a woman goes into the store. On the first floor, the sign on the door reads, Floor 1, men who have good jobs. That's nice, she thinks, but I want more. So she continues upward, where the sign reads, Floor 2, men who have good jobs and love kids. She's intrigued, but continues to the 3rd floor, where the sign reads, Floor 3, men who have good jobs, love kids, and are extremely handsome. Wow, she thinks, but feels compelled to keep going. Floor 4, men who have good jobs, love kids, are extremely handsome, and help equally with the housework? It can't get better than this, she exclaims. But then a voice inside asks, or can it? She goes up and reads the sign. Men who have good jobs, love kids, are extremely handsome, help equally with the housework, and have a great sense of humor? Having found what she's looking for, she's tempted to stay. But something propels her to the 6th floor, where the sign reads, Floor 6, your visitor 42,215,602 to this floor. There are no men on this floor. This floor only exists to prove that women are impossible to please. Thank you for shopping at the husband store.
And ladies, this is written by a woman. Okay, this is not a guy joke. This is written by one of y'all. All right. Is that how y'all say it in Texas? One of y'all?
One of y'all.
Y'all.
Right.
One of y'all. Not you all. One of y'all. Right. And it's funny because, you know, this is interesting. We see this every day with women. Like, we just look at Fresh and Fit. I mean, the women want these guys to have six figures. It means they have to be a millionaire or at least 100,000 there, right? Bring in at least $100,000 a year. All right. They need to be at least 6 feet tall. They need to at least have, you know, 6-pack of abs. They want them in shape. 6-inch dick minimum. And, you know, and what's the other six? It's like 600 horsepower car or something stupid like that.
6 feet tall, 6-pack abs, 6-figure income.
Okay. The 3 6s. Those are the main three. Right. And it's like, well, how does that 6th floor feel to you, ladies? Because what you're describing is less than 2% of the male population.
And that's what happened with this book. That's why she wrote
Yeah.
it. Why she was so intrigued, because she was 39 years old. I mean, we'll get into that, but she stayed forever single.
She's 42 or something at a certain point in the book, I believe. Because she started at 37 when she had the kid or whatever. But we'll get into that. But let's first get into this. Let's dive into here.
Let me finish the converse on this.
Yeah.
Okay, so to avoid gender bias charges, this is how you know a woman's writing it. The store's owner opened a wife store across the street. The first floor has wives who love sex. The second floor has wives who love sex and are kind. The third floor has wives who love sex, are kind, and like sports. The 4th, 5th, and 6th floors have never been visited. We don't ask for much.
Just feed us and bang us. That's all they really got to do is just feed us and bang us and be sweet, you know.
What about in your marriage? Like, what did you experience and like what was lacking? Like, what did you want that you weren't provided?
Actually, I didn't really get a whole lot. You know, it was more of a friendship marriage. So she would do things with me, play games with me, things like that. Wasn't really passionate much.
Mhm.
So at the time, I didn't realize like how good sex could be. You know, like I was kind of experienced, she was kind of experienced, and you know, if you didn't have the chemistry, I've realized now that you have to have that chemistry with somebody. So that's first four: love sex and have chemistry. I mean, you can have somebody who's very sexual, but you don't get along with them sexually at all, or you're just not attracted to them, and that's, you know, you wouldn't check out with that wife. Kindness, yeah, kindness is a important thing too, because when times are tough, you need somebody who's kind, not somebody who's an asshole. I pretty much failed on all the aspects there, so I don't know what I was doing. I was kind of delusional.
But that's why you are where you are today now, though.
I wasn't even shopping in the wife's store, and I should have been.
Let's see if I can find this one. Oh, this is a good one to go forward from here when we're talking about like Fresh and Fit. When they were talking about you know, doing something together and doing a consult with somebody. Just got off the phone. You have to do percentages, Evan said. I just got off the phone with a client and she asked me the same question. This woman is 35 years old. She said that she's willing to compromise, but the more we talked, the more it seemed like she had a fixed idea in her head of the man she wants to be with. She has to be with a guy who's over 6 feet tall. She's 5'5". So I told her that about 15% of men are over 6 feet tall and 80% of women want them. Most of that 80% won't compromise. Do the math. How can 80% of women get 15% of men? And it goes even further where they break it down. If you want these different characteristics, we multiplied the numbers, estimated percentages, who are smart enough, sophisticated enough, funny enough, family oriented enough, stressful enough, or successful enough, kind enough, attractive enough, have hair, are physically fit, give me butterflies. Like all this list. Okay, maybe we're at 5% of the population. But then she said that she wanted a Jewish man. Pulls it down to 0.1%. These women are delusional. And this is a woman that has gone through this entire life thinking this way. And she's writing this to help other women understand the dating landscape. And even though these resources are out here for women, these women do not choose to use them because they're getting that attention in their 20s. They're getting that attention even leading up to their 35s and 40s. But then all that attention disappears.
Well, the good thing about this book is that, like, it goes to show the lie that feminism tells women. Like, don't worry, girl, you'll get them. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't get them when you're younger, you'll get them when you're older. Well, this lady didn't end up getting pregnant by a man. She ended up getting artificially inseminated because she couldn't find the right guy at 37. And she thought that she would, she was coming up to the point where she couldn't have, children anymore. So she goes to a sperm donor named Huds and is like, yo, give me a baby. And then, Huds,
and I graciously gave it.
Baby.
Yeah, like Huds is the baby daddy. You guys didn't know. But no, like, it's like right there. I want to meet Mr. Right. Look, ladies, let me help you out here. There's no perfect guy, just like there's no perfect woman. It's not always a compromise. And that's the problem I have with this book, is that she uses the word settle and compromise
a lot.
So much. And to me, it just shows that she never had genuine desire. She never met a guy that she had genuine desire for. And I think that's the important thing to point out here is, like, fellas, when a woman shows you genuine desire, that's the one that you want to invest in. That one's worthy to invest. Ladies, when you find a guy that you are showing genuine desire for, remember that guy. Okay? Because that's the one that you're the one that's making, like, you feel compelled to do things that you wouldn't do for any other guy. Ask yourself why. Because he's probably ticking off a lot of boxes that you don't even know that you had and that you want. And it's like, you have to ask yourself, why are you willing to do this for Johnny when you weren't interested in Bob this way? It's like, man, you have to really think about it, ladies. What's compelling you to do this? You just have this genuine desire to do this for him. And it's like, as Dan Smith said, yeah, we're aiming for 100% genuine desire.
So I will actually disagree with you on this. I mean, yes, that is the aim. That's what we want. But what this book kind of talks about and what some guys do in life, people do settle. They do have something that may not be the best, and that's also okay. But as long as your needs are being met.
Can I throw something out there too?
Go for it.
Because you were saying earlier, you're saying delusional. I kind of look at it from a summer perspective. They have an active imagination. Like they're thinking there's an imaginary guy out there that meets all these characteristics. Is there a chance that romantic comedies and films and things like that have kind of encouraged the idea of just fantasizing about the perfect man, and that it causes them to, like, look for this fantasy rather than just looking at people as they are?
I definitely think it is. I know that Glenn was texting me the other night when he was watching Cinderella again, and he loves these princess stories where they go from nothing to everything and they get Prince Charming.
Well, I wasn't watching Cinderella, you asshat. I think I told you, I find it funny. The only woman that's ever actually been through something in life was Cinderella. Like, she had to become a princess. And, most women don't understand that, like, because they just are told that they are a princess. But if you look at Cinderella's story, like, no, she was treated like shit. She was cleaning out the toilets and stuff. And then she became, a princess. She earned that, whatever, by finding the right guy. But, no, Hollywood sells women lies.
Yeah.
Hollywood sells women lies. And Hollywood sells men lies too. And the problem with these lies is that we make them to be so aspiring to reach. Like instead of entertaining us, we make them the standard. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
instead of a movie just being there to entertain us, we make it the standard. Like, oh no, I have to have a woman like Angelina Jolie, or I have to have a woman like Selma Hayek. God, Selma Hayek. Like I have to have a woman like that, or that's not the woman, or the woman like this actress in this movie. I want a woman like that. The role that she's playing a role. it's a role, ladies. The guy that's Fabio with the hair that looks manicured, looks good, that's sweet and is compassionate and only wants I don't know who is the big girl, Melissa McCarthy, in a movie. It's not realistic. Okay, that's a movie. He's forced to do that to get paid.
Yo, this is literally Sex in the City. This is brought up in the book too.
Yeah.
It sold women a lie, and they grew up, and especially even when you see some of it, like with Friends, like what on Friends, Ross and whoever
Ross and Rachel. Remember when they said
Yeah.
like, hey, if we're both single at 30, will we just get married? Like basically she's saying, once I'm done with my
I'll
hoe
wait for
phase.
you.
Yeah, once I'm done with my hoe phase and I like plow through all the chads that I want, will you still be there waiting at the finish line like a little good boy? Because if you are, then I'll wife you up when I have nothing else really to give you, when I'm ran through. And that's the room. That's what, again, this goes back to Forrest Gump. Why women consider Forrest Gump so romantic? Why do they want a man like Forrest? Because he's willing to accept bad behavior and not without consequence. And this lady's book is showing the realization that, ladies, guess what? We got to wake up from this fairy tale, because there is a consequence for us not utilizing our sexuality and our, youth properly. If we squander it, we're going to be 40 something years old with cats, living by ourselves, trying to convince ourselves that we're a boss bitch and we don't need a man.
Getting artificially inseminated by HUDs.
By HUDs or David, from the Lone Star State. Donate now to HUD's Cash App to get David semen. And if you do it now, you get a buy one get one free deal. You get 2 nuts for the price of one.
Yeah, limited time only.
But they're thinking that this is going to be the deal, and they're upset later on. Then they look at the guys that are passport bros, that they're older than them or they're the same age, and they're like, why are these men not giving me any attention? Well, because, lady, you became the man you wanted to marry. Like you have become the man that you aspire to have. And what man wants to be with a man? Like the boss bitch mentality really is the biggest lie from feminism to women. Because unless they don't want to have any population, unless they don't want to have love, if they don't want to experience a marriage or whatever, then yeah, run with the boss bitch thing. But if you are looking for a good relationship and have children, ladies, look at this book. Read this book. It's a good book for you to read. It's a good place to start, at least.
Dude, this book it's a tragedy. It's such a shame, because this woman went through the boss bitch lifestyle, and then she got to the age where she couldn't get anybody anymore, and she could never be happy. Her suitors, her selection of suitors was so small that she could never be happy. And she even came across certain people that were like at a later age, 5-10 years down the line, that she now had as like the highest level of what she could attain. And those men didn't even want to be with her anymore because they had moved on and they wanted something younger. Like it's a tragedy, but it gives you the advice that you need to make sure that you get the relationship that you're looking for.
You know what the sad thing is? And this is what's going to piss a lot of ladies off. The sad thing is there's no equality to this, because guys don't have this problem. Guys don't have a threshold. They don't need a girl that reaches all these things. They just look for something small. Sex, respect, submissive. Right there. I think if you get that, I mean, you get those two, sex is going to be in there. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's not this long criteria. We don't care about your job.
I mean, even talking about the criteria here, like if we go all the way back to, that's where I am in the book.
Scroll up to the top where the criteria is, that list that she had originally.
I know, that's where I'm going.
Oh yeah, my goodness, this part is hilarious.
So this is literally how she phrases it. Like, okay, so here they are, the qualities off the top of my head, and in no particular order, that would be on my shopping list if I visited this husband store. Intelligent, kind, extremely funny, curious, loves kids, financially stable, emotionally stable, sexy, romantic, passionate, compassionate, irreverent, intuitive, generous, same religion but not too religious, optimistic but not naive, ambitious. Like, oh my God, we serious? We serious right now?
Gotta cross some of those off. Gotta whittle that list down a little bit.
Do you experience this? I know you're out there dating. Do you experience women having all these? This is like a list like this?
I've experienced women who will walk away when you don't text them often enough because they feel like they need to be fed attention, every couple of days. And I literally remember one weekend, I got busy on a long weekend and I didn't text this girl for like 4 days. I've been seeing her for, weeks. We were intimate. And she just sent me a text like, I don't think this is what I'm looking for. I don't like it when somebody doesn't text me for 5 days, but you're really nice, but
it's impossible.
Well, she probably has something she was looking at,
You know what I find funny about her list? Like, look at this. Likes discussing, but not arguing about politics or events. Well, what do you want to do? If I disagree with you, do you just want to talk about it and not me talk about it? Because if I say something, it's going to be an argument, right? If I say my opposing views on your political, opinion, or then it's going to be an argument. It's not going to be a discussion, So she wants a yes guy that agrees with her political narrative and her view on world events.
And she also wants to make sure you're not moody, Glenn.
Oh God! And you have to like her friends. You have to like her friends. Like,
that's totally fair. Actually, I'll give her credit for that one because a moody guy, I cannot stand moody guys. Like,
I don't stand moody people in general, but I mean, like, take a chill pill.
Do you care about animals?
Yeah, I like to eat them.
And what the fuck does this mean? Competent. What the fuck does that mean? Competent
in what?
Yeah, just competent. Just be competent.
As a team player too. What does that mean?
Cares about the community at large. What do you want me to do? Feed food to the homeless?
Yeah, that's what that's about. That's what that's
like,
about.
Hey, babe, what are we doing for date night? We're gonna go feed food home for the homeless because I want you to know that I care about the community at large. That's right. Get out there. We're going to the soup kitchen, bitch.
Doing something for charity.
And just make sure you're not into sci-fi or comic books.
Oh my God, that's right. If you like Marvel, you are done.
Yeah, this is game over. And you must be between 5'10", but under 6 feet. I can't have.
Yeah, because 6'1" is a little too tall for me.
Wait a minute, under 6 foot?
Yep.
Oh, I fit that. I'm 5'11".
Hey, you gotta be 5'11" and 3/4 is the cutoff. 5'11", 3/4 is the cutoff.
Oh my God! But this is true. This is really
exactly. Hold on, light up Don Levon. Don Levon, like, I wish I had a Don DeMarco button right now for you. You're right. Sounds like she wants to date another woman. You are absolutely right, because this is exactly the criteria, and this is what guys have to go off of, right? Guys go, oh, this is the. If you're a guy and you're looking at this list, no wonder so many guys check out of the game. They're like, screw this. I already have a laundry of shit to do at work.
How does she look? I haven't seen her picture.
Sure.
Is she gorgeous? That's a star, right?
Oops.
Yeah, there's a picture over there.
So, like,
okay, she passes the basic cuteness test, I will say.
But she's not.
She's not unattractive.
Yeah, I'm not going to give up sci-fi. I'm not going to give up Marvel for this girl.
I'm not going to date a single mom.
And exactly, she went ahead and
Like
got
she like lowered
artificially.
herself. Like, yo, she lowered herself on the SMV just by having a kid by herself.
I did
You know?
single moms.
Dude, she literally
Personally.
she says in the book, I wanted a family. And because I hadn't found Mr. Right yet and I was running out of time, I artificially inseminated myself at 37 so that I could have the kid and I'd find Mr. Right later. And then she found out, wait a minute, nobody wants to date me because
That makes it
I
harder.
am a single
That
mom.
makes it harder.
Like, where's the logic here?
Look, guys, all I gotta do is don't worry about being Mr. Right. Just be Mr. Right now. look, I ain't Mr. Right, but I'm Mr.
No,
Right
it's
now.
not.
I'm right here.
That's true.
She's not the average single mom.
She is. She's
She
not
doesn't
the
have a
average.
deadbeat dad.
She doesn't.
Yeah, she's not the average single mom. She used a turkey baster. I get it. You know, like you're not gonna have to deal with child support and baby daddies. That's cool.
Unusual.
You know, but like
she'll rename
really,
the kid. She'll have to
really
be
at the if you look at her struggle, like and it's funny because I think she wakes up to a lot of it is that oh shit, I did everything ass backwards. And that's what this book tells you, ladies, is like, hey, guess what? Warning flag, I did everything that you're doing and that you're told to do, and it doesn't work out. So pause the brakes, you know, let's reevaluate our situation here because it's not working out for us.
Let me ask you a question. So this book, for those who don't know, this book actually came out in 2010. So this book has been out for 12 years. Why is it that women don't want to self-improve in this type of way? Instead, they'll go to Cosmopolitan, whatever it is, for dating advice, and they won't pick something up like this, like, hey, I've lived through it. This is what you need to know. You're muted.
Because reading their horoscope is so much fucking more better for them because it
The
requires
reason why it
them no
didn't work
change.
out is because Mercury was in retrograde.
Yeah, like Venus was blocking the sun, and that's why your relationship didn't work out. You know, and no, here's the thing: women's response to self-help or self-improvement is going to another female complaining about the guy without getting anything changed. Like they never self-reflect and be like, oh, well, I did wrong. Like if you ask a woman like why her relationships won't work out, they always tell you it's the guy's fault, right?
Yeah.
And they'll tell you like they have a bad picker. They're right in everything. According to them, they're always right. But they just have a bad picker. When it comes to picking men, they just pick the wrong guy. But if you're right in everything, you know, how is your picker wrong?
Yeah, if you're right in everything, then you would be in a very stable relationship or you'd be married.
So, I mean, honestly, it's accountability on both sides.
Mhm.
Maybe the guys are not living up to what they said they were going to be. You know, like
So, David, what did you do wrong in your marriage?
I didn't establish a balance between us. At least a balance would have been nice.
Mhm.
But instead, it was really one person trying to do as little as possible, and me doing filling the gap, like doing more because that's what my mother taught me to do. Like just be the one who does everything. And it was a bad pattern. And once you've established that pattern and you've had a relationship for years where that pattern's there, you can't really break that very easily. You can't just hit the reset button and, okay, now we're going to do things the right way.
You know what's weird about how you said that? It's almost as if you took some accountability.
I took accountability, and for years I was the guy who was always like admitting I made mistakes and trying to do better and this and that. And I realized the person on the other side never admitted any accountability at all. So
you won't get that from them. They won't.
I kind of felt like a sucker in the end. It's like, wait, why am I admitting all this stuff when this person doesn't ever do it?
But see, that's the healthy thing. What you did was healthy. You're like, look, I fucked. When I went through a divorce, I was mad at myself. Yeah, my ex cheated on me. I was mad that she did that, but I was mad that
yo.
I'm mad that I set up the environment to where that she could think that was acceptable. Yep. I let her walk on me when I could have stood up and should have stood up, but because I wanted to keep the happy wife, happy life thing, I took it on the chin, thinking that taking it on the chin will give me some respect, and it doesn't. Unless you fucking throw one back at you. What up, Tristan? I see you in the chat. We got Tristan and Don Levon in the building. Yeah, Don, it's never their fault. It's never their fault. And it's always the guy's fault. And here's the thing.
Right.
I would say that's true to a degree. It's always going to be the guy's fault if you never, as a guy, set up boundaries and say, hey, this is the frame that we're living in. These are the boundaries. If you step out of pocket, guess what consequences are? And guess what the consequences that you're no longer with me.
Boundary
You
issues.
no longer get my resources.
Boundary issues.
Yeah.
But look, I got a jet. I have to jet soon. So
yeah, you wanna wrap it up? You got any final thoughts on this?
final thoughts. If there was a wife store, okay, I would say the wife store would have to say, love sex with you. Remember that clip that I said earlier where the wife was like, I like sex. I just don't like sex with you. No, okay. For all seriousness, guys. You know, when it comes down to these things, right? It's sad that there's this book that's been out since 2010.
Yep.
You know, and it's getting very little traction. And the reason it goes to show that when it comes to women's self-improvement, they're not improving themselves. Either there's a denial and they don't want to improve themselves. What's up, Sam Bada in the building? Oh my God, we got Sam Bada in the building. Like, dude,
What's up,
Sam Bada, the voice of the rational male. Like, that dude is the shit.
Male.
Like, that is fire right there. What up, Sam? But you know, the thing is like, you know, we got women out here not self-improving because they don't understand that self-improving means you have to take accountability and reflect in the mirror. And this book helps out with ladies having to take that look. And I think it's a good first step for women. But guys, I also think that if you need to take that step, I would say start with the rational male. Hands down, start with the rational male, because I read that book and I was looking in the mirror like Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. I was like, damn, there's a lot of things I got to work on. But there's self-improvement doesn't actually do shit. There's all these books out there, and it's including the rational male. You could read the rational male. You could read all these fucking self-improving books. But if you actually don't take the tools that are in the books and apply them to your life, those books don't mean shit to you. Okay? Because they haven't done shit to you until you actually apply those things in your life to make the changes that you need.
Right. I want to throw this up too. What Mike was mentioning here, I'm going to have to take a look at this book. I would love to look at some of these types of books. I think it's very, very interesting. And I feel like I've heard of this before, but I've never read it. So thank you for
no, I have heard of this book.
Yeah, so we'll have to take a look at it.
Got some homework to do.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so the next podcast, you guys, we're gonna be reviewing My Little Pony for HUDs. It's his favorite. You guys, you have to understand that his bed sheets are My Little Pony. All right.
All right, so hold on. Stop with the jokes. Let's wrap it up so you can go to the airport. Got any final thoughts on this?
Yeah, since we were talking earlier about like my past, lesson learned: don't sleepwalk into a relationship. That whole thing about boundaries, I didn't have boundaries in my family. I didn't really understand how to set them and how to maintain them. But it's crucial. Like when you're just getting with somebody, you're establishing the habits of that relationship. So boundaries, important, healthy, normal. If you don't have them, that's bad. That's not gonna end well.
It's good stuff. I have to say my final thoughts on this. Like, I know I've got a younger sister myself. If any of you guys have, female family members or younger sisters, this is the type of book that you should share with them. And you don't want to ever force something down their throat, but something like this is very important. You can never force a woman to change, or if you point out her flaws in a certain way, she's going to lash back at you. But it's very important to do something like this. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? And now I can't hear you because now you muted yourself.
Oh, I said Jen on the block just messaged me. I'll just tell her what's up.
But yeah, no, this is absolutely fantastic for all women to read. And, it's a shame that it didn't get more traction than it did, because it is just story after story after story after story, and why things weren't working out. And these stories are not all about her. They're about other people from all these different dating coaches she talked to, all these different matchmakers, all these different psychologists, and what they've experienced in the field, and how women always think, it's never good enough. What if, what if, what if? But instead of having the what if guy, I mean, hell, I am happy. So if I've got a ribeye in front of me, why do I need to try and get a tomahawk steak?
Yeah. I mean, the book's called Marry Him.
Yeah, Marry Him. Check it out. It's a really interesting read. Now, I would definitely say there's some verbiage problems in there that I don't like, but I mean, the book's good. I just don't like the way that she kept on saying compromise and settle when it comes to a guy. But to me, that's just because she never met a guy that she had genuine desire for. And if you guys really want to understand what genuine desire is, check out The Rational Male on YouTube. He has a great breakdown on genuine desire. Or read it in Rollo's book, or get it on Audible. You can listen to Sam Bada tell you what genuine desire is. What does Sam say in the bottom?
He's saying Suzanne Venker wrote How to Choose a Husband based on conversations we had. Oh, that's badass. Sam, I'm going to check that out.
Really?
Oh, and Sam, I still wanted to hit you up. I haven't hit you up on Twitter yet. I still want you to do a narration for a video for a movie. I will get you on Twitter, big guy, as soon as I get time. But look, I got a jet. Hey, you guys have a great time in Atlantic City. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do. Okay.
That means everything.
Yeah, that just pretty much means. I mean, I just wouldn't get arrested if I did it. There's a difference. So as long as you guys don't get arrested, we're good.
I'll do my best. I'll stay away from the whales.
Yeah. Oh, did you see what Sam said? Reach out to Lori. She answers emails. So that's cool. I would love to hit up Lori, get her on here, and talk to her about it.
That. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for letting us know.
Another thing, you guys, we have Iron Rule 7, 8, 9 this Saturday on the Dragon Ship. We're gonna break it down. We're really gonna break down the last 3 rules of Rollo Tomasi's 9 Iron Rules. I would love to get him on there, but the man is so busy with everything he got going on in Vegas and his new projects, so we just not going to get him on this time. But stay tuned, because the Dragon Ship got some fire content we're going to drop for you guys. Without further ado, I got a dip. So you guys have a good one.
All good. Thanks, guys.